Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, it is I am the one and only Ray the Flying Squirrel here, and I am back for the likes of the Maxi Toys videos once again. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back for some more Let's Play of Super Mario Bros. Wonder for the Nintendo Switch. So, last time, we've essentially kicked Bowser's butt in Journey Forms have been a final battle, Bowser's Rage stage, and I'm not gonna lie, that particular final boss battle is really epic. I'm not gonna lie for saying this, especially because not only it tries something a little bit more different, but it's also about the fact that it actually requires us to deal with a lot of rhythm timing, which I get it because of how the factor with this musical performance has been going on, but that's besides the point. And in addition to that, we did somehow manage able to claim the 7th and the final Royal Seed in the entire game, which as a result, it appears to be the orange color. So because of that, yeah, everything else will be pretty much accounted for in regards to the forms of exploring the rest of the forms of Petal Isles as so much more desires. Even though despite the fact that we've already did somehow managed able to complete everything in Petal Isles, Castle Bowser still exists anyway, much like the forms of how it does it in Journey Forms within Peach's Castle from New Super Mario Bros. U, plus New Super Luigi U as well. So this means that the visual standpoint is basically untouched. So because of that though, I get it because of replayability. So yeah, you probably get the idea for this point. So today, for this video, is about the fact that we're about to be able to explore into a whole new world, which I'm not gonna able to sing that song by the way, because obviously of copyright restrictions. So anyway though, so no matter what though, is about the fact that the reason why we've come back into this game, because the game itself is not over yet, because obviously we're gonna be able to experience the final world in a game, which as a result, most people could classify for saying about the fact that the next world coming up, or should I say the final world in the game actually, is the most challenging world in the entire game, similar to how it evolves of how it does it for not just by the forms of World 9 from New Super Mario Bros. Wii, alongside with the forms of the special world in the forms of Super Mario World, and of course in addition to that, World Star from New Super Mario Bros. 2. Well, I still classified that game as super duper easy, just because of a whole bunch of coins you can able to get. And on top of that, with Superstar Road from the likes of New Super Mario Bros. U, plus New Super Luigi U as well. So we're pretty much able to stumble across into some of the more difficult levels in the entire game. So because of that, so as you can see, we actually brought something for the sake of the forms of the Poplin shop, which by the way, in order to actually access to 4 remaining of those specific badges by the way, you have to beat the game once by the way. And as a result, we can able to have the ability to let those specific power-ups become, well, fundamentally speaking though, a lot more, well, it's hard to explain really, because I know for a fact that it's been about roughly 3 days ago since we've last played this game for sure, because I know for certain for one thing is about the fact that recently, both Silver as well as Pac-Man, they basically finished up everything for the entire Let's Play of WarioWare Get It Together. So no matter what though, the next WarioWare game we're going to be focusing on next is of course WarioWare Move It, but we're not going to do that anytime soon, just because obviously no matter what though, we still need to try to figure something out in regards to the forms of what's going to be up next for certain Let's Plays though, but then again, that particular topic can wait, and during at some point, possibly until by that time until the weekends anyway, but then again, we'll have to wait and see what happens. So, anyways though, fundamentally speaking though, here we are on the forms of the 8th world, or should I say the final world in the game, and as a result we're now onto the special world. And similar to the forms of how it does it on Super Mario World, alongside with the forms of Donkey Kong Country 2, for the Super Nintendo version anyway, every time whenever you get into the forms of specific paths, or specifically specific parts of the map, basically does about the fact that, as you can tell, the first level we're going to be jump right into, it regards to the forms of the special world, and that's what appears to be, but none of it then, Pipe Rock Plateau Special, which appears to be Bounce, Bounce, Bounce. So as a result, because obviously this stage encourages you to able to do a lot of bouncing, so because of that, yeah, those levels in particular is going to be the most difficult levels in the entire game, because we're now entering into the forms of the 5-star difficulty levels. So, meaning about the fact that some portions of certain stages are going to be pretty tough, mainly with the forms of a whole bunch of spikes, And not only that though, there's a lack of checkpoints, and in addition to that, certain enemies might give you some bit of trouble, and not only that though, you are forced to able to go into the specific wonder effects once you start the level for reals. So, either way, and as you can tell, I somehow managed to change back into Journey forms that specific parachute cap again, just because I just wanted able to classify for notice something about the fact that, as you can tell, that we've already did manage to able to stumble across into specific color for that particular wonder flower, and same applies with the forms of the wonder seed as well. And as a result, the color choice this time around in this world in particular, which has to be buddy forms of white color. So because of that, I don't think it's a possibility. I don't think we can probably able to come across into white kind of royal seeds, because obviously we've already gathered all 7 of those royal seeds in journey forms within the main worlds of the game. So yeah, everything else will be pretty much accounted for. So as you can see, despite the fact that we've already died once in this particular stage, but oh no, when you get the hang of it though, especially concerning if you do manage to equip the parachute cap badge, then you should able to deal with this stage no problem. Just no matter what though, it's about the fact that the majority of the forms of certain levels in a special world in some cases though are going to be the most challenging. So because of that though, so far we've completed one of them so far, and now we're onto the center portion of the map, where basically though, not only do we able to come across into the next piranha plant we need to take care of, but also we've actually come across into a special kind of shop, which as you can see, we have the ability to able to brought out or buy the majority of the standees, which as a result, not only you can able to buy the random ones, but also character specific standees, which as a result, you see what I mean if we do keep on collecting some more flower coins. So just to ensure, no matter what though, it does manage to cost about 30 flower coins each every time whenever you decide able to brought something new for specific standees. So as a result, I'll focus on those in a second, because as you can tell, we've now switched over to Luigi again, just in case we can able to actually take care of every single of those special world levels, so we can pretty much guarantee to able to tackle for them, all of them. So, relatively speaking though, the next level we're going to be hop into, it appears to be buddy forms of, oh goodness gracious, this level is going to be really tricky and difficult. Petal Isle's special Way of the Goomba. So no matter what though, in this level's case, we are forced to able to turn into a Goomba if we dare touch the Wonder Flower like we just did right there. And this is where the game starts to get extremely difficult, as I said before, mainly because of the amount of trial and error you have to go through. And on top of that though, is about the fact that luckily if you do manage to able to claim the actual let's just say a 10 flower coin, luckily you don't have to recollect them again. So potentially speaking, it's about the fact that in this level's case anyway, if you dare get hit by any other like enemies, like Thrumps for instance, or heck, even especially noticeable with certain bottomless pits, if you accidentally fell into those, you die instantly. So because of that though, oh boy, this might give some bit of test of patience around here. Although sometimes you can't be too slow either, because otherwise, if you don't rush this in one of those segments coming up, obviously you will die instantly as well. So because of that though, it takes a bit of some time to able to memorize specific gimmicks around the forms of certain stages like this, but still. So anyway, a few things I want to explain for this point today is that, well, today's date, of course, is the 5th of February today. In some cases, in 2024 today. Naturally speaking, though, it's about the fact that at this point in time, that I'm pretty certain that... Oh, jeez, that was close. I accidentally fall off. I think it's because my jump button does not even to actually react to in time, so... Oh well, we'll try again, and exponentially, as I said this earlier, there aren't any checkpoints in these kinds of stages, just like the forms of how it does it on, you know, World 9 from New Super Mario Bros. Wii, alongside with the forms of Superstar Road from New Super Mario Bros. U, as well as New Super Luigi U as well. There's only one game exception to that, and that's what appears to be New Super Mario Bros. 2, because one of the levels in World Star does have a checkpoint, which as a result, it appears to be on the castle level, just because of the dry Bowser secret final boss. So yeah, if you probably already know what I mean, ever since if you already played the game since around 12 years ago almost. So But either way, let's just go ahead and try this again, and hopefully we should be able to actually pass through this. So, I mean, for the most part, it's pretty tricky, like I said before. It's just that on the ending section, though, as well as some sections, that you really need to be able to be so precise. Not just by the forms of the stealth segment, but it's also about the fact that you have to able to get the right timing to able to actually invade those spike balls. Because if you're not hesitating enough, obviously you will die instantly if you dare touch the spike balls like this, for instance. So yeah, it's definitely a little bit harder as it seems. So, but anyways, a few things I want to talk about in regards to the forms of today's discussion is that, well, generally speaking though, is about the fact that recently we did somehow finally get a chance to unlock the next cosmetic character in Journey forms within Sonic Dash. And as we've already mentioned about this earlier, we've finally managed to get ourselves Dragon Fire Sonic. So as a result, I believe the next unlockable we might as well get, it appears to be Dragon Claw Tails, but that doesn't start until specifically the next few days' time. So as a result, I'm still very excited to able to actually hopefully try to unlock these specific cosmetic characters eventually. Well, one thing I did not expect, that I somehow accidentally stumbled across into myself one of those specific character cards by the forms of Chrome Silver by complete accident, which I was not expecting that, which I almost assume about the fact that maybe it's a possibility that I can able to redeem myself for able to actually get that specific character for reals. Well, don't get my hopes up just yet though, just because no matter what though, I'm still not a big fan of the forms of that stupid character card system requirements for unlocking certain characters, because sometimes it can be rather tedious. So there we go, we've now passed through that. And now we move on to the next segment, where basically we have to jump onto these specific bubbles that basically those guys are usually spewed them out. So, oh boy, that particular 10 flower coin though. But at least I got it on specifically the first try. So, pretty cool, huh? And once we're done with that, well, I believe we have to do with the leaps of faith around here. There's no power up in here, so... Oh, are you kidding me? Oh, shoot. That means I have to go for all that stuff again. Yep, I do. Oh, great. It's bad enough there aren't any checkpoints in here either, like I said before. It's just... Sometimes I feel like this level is going to be pretty slow sometimes, especially concerning for the fact that, well, you know, we always have to take control of the Goomba at all times, so... But, as far as I'm aware, since we're still in February after all, this means we might get our possibilities that we might able to actually see the first ever Nintendo Direct Journey forms within 2024 sometime in this week, which as a result, it could be for possibilities, I'm not exactly 100% sure, but one thing I do appreciate about the forms of the 2024 selections of games for right now, it seems that we're actually getting ourselves some pretty cool hidden gems, or to be more specifically, some fan-favorite games as far as I'm aware, in addition with the forms of specific games got remastered with some expansion parts, like for example that, well, as far as I'm usually concerned, that so far in regards to the forms of some really good remasters coming up, which is of course Sonic Generations, like specifically Sonic X Shadow Generations, where basically though we are able to experience the exactly same base game again, except now we're able to actually have some Shadow Story content. And as far as I'm aware, it's going to be releasing on autumn this year, which as we expected, much like any forms of how it does it on most Sonic game releases during that time, which, for example, that we've already got Sonic Colors Ultimate, despite the fact that I feel like that Sonic Colors Ultimate, while looking back on it though, it just feels a bit underwhelming to me. I mean, don't get me wrong, I still enjoy Sonic Colors even to this day, but it's just that with the actual Ultimate re-release, it just feels a bit all over the place when it comes to like not only for its you know, presentation, but it's also about the fact that with specific content still brings us. So anyway, so I was gonna have to make this specific... Wait! No! Oh, I did it again! Seriously! Great. Oh my god. I think what I'm gonna do is that I'm probably not gonna do that technique again, because obviously, if I keep doing that, that's just wasting my time, so... Oh, that's so annoying. It was literally at the end of a level, but then I found out that these Goombas never stop moving, and as a result, I accidentally touched those spikes. So, I could just wish if I was gonna get that power-up off-screen, likely also for the sake of the Forms of the Mushroom, but nope, I have to do this the hard way, so... Oh, jeez. This might take a bit of a while, folks. This could probably take a while. Although I don't think it's possible we can able to complete the entire world in this video, but definitely in the next video for sure. Which might actually brings us to the Forms of the actual finale. So, who knows? According to the Forms of that specific time length, as far as I'm concerned. Anyways, though, yeah, as I was saying, it's pretty cool about the fact that we get ourselves a remastered version of Sonic Generations, like what, most of us have already said this already, but, yeah, and exponentially, hopefully we'll find out some more details about the Forms of the, yet another remaster, which we're really looking forward to. That's, of course, Paper Mario The Thousand Year Door for the Nintendo Switch, which I'm still expecting to be hoping they're able to actually add it in yet another story, which focuses on around Luigi, because as a result, no matter what though, speaking of something Luigi focused, that obviously we're going to be selecting Luigi in this level, so... Alright, let's just make our good running start. Ah, there we go, finally. So, no need to worry about the Forms of trying to jump on that specific Goomba in order to able to actually get that good bounce height no matter what. So, oh jeez, the ending portion is a bit embarrassing, but regardless of such though, I did somehow pull this off. So, either way, as far as anything else I could possibly explain about this is that, well, generally speaking though, is about the fact that I believe we've only got about exactly 11 days to go until the Mario vs. Donkey Kong remake for the Nintendo Switch will be releasing. So because of that though, and as far as what both Pac-Man, or should I say, Sonic and Knuckles have already mentioned about this, is that generally speaking though, they've only get a chance to experience 4 stages for the actual world of Mario Toy Company, and after that though, it's shown us the actual footage of what's to come, mainly with the Forms of some new worlds, as well as the Forms of some plus variants for certain levels, and you know what I'm saying, because obviously it plays out exactly like the Forms of how it does it for, you know, most likely for other demos for other games, you know. So anyways, let's go ahead and spend some of these, well, missing standees for specific characters, mainly with the Forms of Nabbit, Toadette, alongside with Daisy, so that pretty much does it for those specific character standees. So, and of course we'll buy something from Mario standee, which as a result we did somehow missing 3 of them, but now we've got 2 left, so all in all though, this is actually a really good shop to go into, despite how certain standees are pretty pricey. But regardless of everything else though, is about the fact that there is one in particular level that I will show this off and during at some point once we finish up everything in this entire game. And as well as from that, there's also some special kind of levels that we can able to jump right into. Well, to be more specifically, also whenever we decide able to finish up everything in this entire game. So, but of course, it might take a bit while though for the sake of the Forms of grinding. So, no matter what though, is about the fact that so far we've got 2 standees left for Mario, 2 standees left for Peach, same applies with Yellow Toad as well, and also same applies with Yellow Toad, or Yellow Yoshi rather, alongside with Light Blue Yoshi as well. So that pretty much leaves us to 10 more standees to go. So I think fundamentally speaking though, we need to aim for about, let's just say, 300 of those specific flower coins I need to reach into, so just in case I do get enough opportunities to able to actually brought every single standees throughout. Now as far as the Forms of some badges as far as I'm concerned, despite the fact that we've already purchased one of them, which appears to be evolves around in, if you do manage to equip one of those power-up badges or something like that, basically though you are forced to able to transform into a permanent power-up rather than just the Forms of, like, you see what I mean whenever we get to the next level in the special world as Daisy. So as you can see, we've gone back into the Forms of the special world again, except now we are tackling through the 3rd level, which is obviously inspired by kind of like the exactly same type of level, and as a result I accidentally died just because, again, I was a bit so hasty all of a sudden, and also I just want to get myself the, you know, the 10 flower coins. So, and as far as I can usually say about this at this point, is that I think we've only just got about, fundamentally speaking though, is about the fact that we've only got 10 more days to go until the actual Sonic Superstars DLC is about to be releasing, specifically with that specific costume, likely also for Shadow the Hedgehog costume. So, but we still have no idea what it looks like, but I suppose that we'll have to figure it out. And during at some point at, well, on Thursday sometime on the 15th of February, at least whatever I did double checked on the actual calendar. So, oh jeez, that was super duper close, especially though if we dare mess this up, we have to keep on trying. So, but thankfully this stage is overall pretty short, so, well, despite the fact that there are, you know, there aren't any checkpoints to be found, so, there we go. Oh wait, it does manage to require a lot of concentration as well, just in case you don't want to come across into a lot of life strainers sometimes. But anyway, that level was, come in a beat, I think is what it says anyway, despite the fact I didn't pay attention to the forms of that specific title card for that particular level title, just because, again, I somehow got distracted of the forms of specific, how exciting that 2024 has to come in regards to the forms of video game releases during that specific period. So, and as far as I'm aware, in order able to actually access this level right here, that we need to get about 6 of those Wonder Seeds, so just in case we can able to get rid of that particular Piranha Plant, and potentially speaking of, that pretty much leads us to, let's just say, the semi-final test, which we're probably not going to do that just yet, just because no matter what though, we'll just warp back onto some other worlds, specifically World 3 for Shining Falls, so we can able to just warp onto Royal Seed Mansion, so just in case we can able to go into the left side of that specific part, rather than onto the right side, just because we've already experienced the right side, so as a result, let's hop onto here, and we can able to actually tackle through the next stage, which the next stage is also going to be pretty difficult though, and as a result, we're going on to Shining Falls Special, and that will have to be by the forms of Triple Threat Deluxe, I think is what it says anyway. Anyways, let's go and equip the All Elephant Power. So, for example, since we're in still form after all, if we manage to able to come across into a Super Mushroom like this, for instance, instead of making you go into like normal big size, so instead you automatically go into Elephant Transformation. So, pretty handy though, especially concerning for this stage in particular, because since we've actually able to touch the Wonder Flower, so this means we are forced to able to go into a top-down perspective, and on top of that, we need to avoid a lot, I mean a lot of spike balls getting tossed by a whole bunch of Lakitus in the background. So, yeah, there's going to be a lot of death situations, especially in this in some cases though, which as a result, yeah, if you manage to able to play this on multiplayer, or even on online, it shouldn't be too bad. But keep this in mind though, is about the fact that if you manage to play this level on multiplayer, it actually costs lives very fast, especially concerning for the fact that much like in Super Mario 3D World, and potentially speaking, that's all I can really think about it, all those players has to share lives. So because of that though, rather than just having some separate lives, compared to the forms of stuff relates to New Super Mario Bros. Wii, as well as New Super Mario Bros. U, and New Super Luigi U as well. So yeah, this level is going to be really difficult though. And good luck for trying to able to get those specific 10 flower coins, by the way, because some of them, well, it's not so bad, but it's just that you have to wait so patiently in order to able to actually progress, because there are certain parts that can be blocked off, and you can't get rid of those specific blocks while just trying to able to run into it. So you have to able to let those spike balls destroy the blocks for you. So, and sometimes this level can be pretty chaotic. So because of that though, yeah, there's going to be a lot of death situations from time to time. So, but for the most part though, when you get the hang of it though, assuming of course, depending on the forms of some RMG is getting involved, for the most part it's actually not too shabby for the most part. Well, I will expect I might as well come across into another death or anything, specifically on this part right here. Oh jeez, that was so lucky. Because goodness, if I do manage to die on this part, after we... Oh, jeez, don't you dare, you stupid little bouncy block right there. I can't even believe that bouncy block just almost pushed me off. And if I accidentally fall off and just die instantly, I have to redo the entire stage again, which that won't be that fun, but thankfully we did somehow, you know, accomplish this entire stage. So I believe for the most part that I believe we're now on to, presumably speaking, we're now on to the halfway point of this entire special world already. I mean, truth be told though, the entire special world is filled to the brim with a lot of flower platforms as, well, you know what I'm saying, with the level markers and stuff like that, which is always kind of swell, especially concerning for the fact that the entire game is focused around flower emphasis or something. So, again, I apologize for my commentary, it's a little bit slightly bare bones sometimes. I mean, I just really want to know about the fact that if the actual Nintendo Direct will eventually come up during the forms of this entire month, because I will admit though right away that we've already taken care of the forms of some news and information for the sake of the Mario vs. Donkey Kong Switch remake right now. So I suppose no matter what though, if it does become true for that particular first ever Nintendo Direct for 2024, which as a result it might be some time that we might able to start be doing some speculations if that turns up. So, but then again, we shall see, especially concerning for the fact that it still is the beginning of the entire 2024 year up to this point, so... Anyways, let's move on to the next level right here, and oh gee, something tells me we have to force to able to deal with the forms of, not just by the forms of those specific pole things that we have to deal with right here, but it's also about the fact that this stage is auto-scrolling, so because of that, oh jeez, I totally forgot about that flower coin down there. Ah, oh, dang it, I have to re-grab that, or should I say, I have to collect that if I do die at one point, and obviously though, I can able to actually just try this entire stage again if I accidentally die for doing so, but anyway. But, yeah, as a matter of fact though, it's about the fact that, since no matter what though, I'm pretty sure that, Sonic and Knuckles have already explained about this, and I think that could be also applies for, Silver the Hedgehog and Pac-Man as well. I think the reason why that Sonic X Shadow Generations now exist is most notably because of the marketing strategy for the sake of the forms of not only for the Year of Shadow for 2024, but it's also about the fact that for promoting by the forms of the upcoming movie Sonic the Hedgehog 3, which as a result I am super pumped for it. And I accidentally died right there, just because I was not hesitating for that specific bump. But that's okay though, because no matter what though, we'll keep that badge for the time being, just in case I do desperately want to turn into an elephant again, so much so anyway, so... But plus, not to mention though, is about the fact that I need to go ahead and grab that particular 10 flower coin fast, just in case I can able to instantly try to able to complete the level for reals, so... Anyways, so let's just obtain that Wonder Flower again. And hopefully, without any... Why do I just do that? Dang it. Oh well. And also, the reason why that Enjoying forms have been some shops anyway for Populin Shop. Good thing I did not able to actually spend most of my flower coins to brought out more of those extra lives, because obviously that if I ended up doing that, well, that would be a waste of opportunity to able to actually fully 100% everything to go even longer for able to realize about the fact that, well, you see what I mean. So, either way, as far as you probably already know, that we somehow claim ourselves the first medal by simply able to beat in the game for the first time. So technically speaking though, there are not one, but 6 medals to get if you really want to go for a full 100% completion, and there are specific conditions for that in order to able to actually fully 100% everything in the entire Super Mario Bros. Wonder game. Like for example, we've already got ourselves the first medal throughout the game so far, and to get that is by simply beating the final boss just once, and that's all pretty standard stuff, especially concerning for the fact that we pretty much used that specific format ever since entering the forms have been not only in New Super Mario Bros., but also with New Super Mario Bros. Wii, New Super Mario Bros. 2, as well as New Super Mario Bros. U, and heck, even with New Super Luigi U as well. That could be also applied for Super Mario 3D Land and Super Mario 3D World as well. Maybe a possibility also for Bowser's Fury as well. Although, kind of thinking about it though, is about the fact that the medal system, when it comes to completionists, are very similar to the forms of how it does it for the star icons for the majority of the New Super Mario Bros. Games, as well as the Super Mario 3D Land, Super Mario 3D World, as well as Bowser's Fury as well. So, yeah, potentially speaking though, they are very similar. Anyway, so now we've actually got the Wonder Seed from up there. And now we just need able to complete the level like normal, so... Anyway, so let's go do this. And there we go. If I dare mess this up with that particular golden flagpole segment, then I have to redo the entire stage again, so... It gets a bit tough though when it comes to able to getting ourselves the gold flagpole until for later on, just because no matter what though, we just only got started for able to experience the special world, so... Anyway, so that pretty much does it for that particular level. And I think we've only got 2 levels left down there between the bottom left corner and the bottom right corner. So next up we'll select Blue Toad right here. So no matter what though, we'll go on to the forms of Fungi Mines to able to actually find that specific propeller flower, which pretty much leads us to the special world anyway. So we'll just go ahead and do that. And we still have no idea what specific stuff is going on, aside from the fact that, well, we've already explained about this earlier, is about the fact that obviously that Mario vs. Donkey Kong remake on the Switch is just almost around the corner. So I can't believe that days go by really, really fast. Anyway, Fungi Mines Special, and that's what it appears to be, Dangerous Donut Ride. Oh jeez, this level is going to be really difficult. Which I get this strong sense of feeling about the fact that I might as well die a lot in this stage. So, even though thankfully the length itself is a bit short, well, assuming of course if you know what you're doing, and thankfully unlike in New Super Mario Bros. Wii, alongside with New Super Mario Bros. 2, as well as New Super Mario Bros. U, and New Super Luigi U, that thankfully you don't get kicked out of the level if you die a lot. So, whilst it feels kind of similar to the forms of how it does it for both Super Mario 3D Land and 3D World, that basically you can able to just try that level again, rather than getting kicked out of the level, so at least we do appreciate about that. Oh, really? We just got zapped out of nowhere, while just simply just trying to able to get that Wonder Seed, and we somehow died. Okay, might as well go for Auto Super Mushroom this time, just because, just feel like it, and because of that, it makes the entire experience a bit tad easy, but it's just not as easy as it looks, when it comes to the forms of how this level plays out to be. So yeah, for this entire stage, and focuses on around, you know what I'm saying, with all these donut platforms that you have to take a ride on, and because of that, you have to avoid a lot of those specific hazards, like weird colored lava or poison or something. And perhaps even most notably of them all though, is these hotheads, and on top of that, a lot of stuff you have to avoid, like spikes and all that. And there might be a few annoying moments where sometimes enemies pop out of nowhere if you're trying to go ahead and deal with these skydiving segments, as you can tell. Well, at least we got every single 10 flower coins at this point, so at the very least that's that. So now we just need to able to go for the entire level as normal, so... it takes a bit of while though. Oh jeez, I was not hesitating for that. But thankfully though, assuming if you really want to buy some more standees eventually, in addition with the forms of some remaining badges, basically if you keep on, you must able to keep doing this process if you keep failing because of that particular grinding for specific flower coins, as far as I'm aware. Oh jeez, that was close. always have to make sure to able to do a 12 spin, just in case you can able to feel a bit too safe for specific situations. And dang it! Dang it all. I will say, out of all the actual levels in this special world, to me though, this one is by far the hardest so far. Especially concerning because of how the fact that not only you attempt to die a lot, but it's also about the fact that, you know, especially noticeable if you're trying to use Mario, Luigi, Peach, Daisy, two-colored Toads, or Toadette. Well, don't expect about the fact that I don't think that's probably going to be the easiest experience overall. But unlike something like Yoshi can have an easier time, as well as Nabbit as well. But the only time exception being is of course Poison, because obviously Poison can instantly kill you. So yeah, just like the forms of how it does it in well, any other Mario games, since probably New Super Mario Bros. All the way up to Super Mario 3D World, I'm pretty sure anyway. Even though, despite the fact that it's been a very long while since I actually have last played those games, because no matter what though, then I'd be busy just trying to able to realize that I recently managed to order some even more physical games, specifically for our collection's sake. Most notably, I recently managed to order not only Super Mario Bros. But also Super Mario Bros. 3 on the NES cartridge versions, because I just feel like it, especially concerning with our die-hard Mario fans such as ourselves, so I just can't help it for myself, although I can still able to technically play them for the actual Wii Virtual Console re-release versions, in addition with the Wii U Virtual Console re-release versions as well, and of course, let's not forget ourselves with the NES Classic Mini as well, so that might actually get the gist of it, so... Oh jeez, I totally forgot about the shifting poison wall. Oh jeez. Those enemies come out of nowhere, specifically with these flower pot looking enemies. But thankfully though, if you try to pass for this entire ordeal, obviously, oh goodness gracious, I totally forgot about this part. This is getting nerve-wracking, but hey, at least we got the Wonder Seed, so that's all that matters. Oh jeez, I almost died there. Oh wait. But of course we're not done yet, because obviously we need to avoid those Sparkies or Hotheads most notably, so just in case you don't die at the end, because god, that would be embarrassing if I do that. But thankfully that does not seem the case at all, so kudos to my patient skills, so at least I thought so anyway. Alright, I think we'll also do one more level for the sake of the forms of this video. And as far as the next couple of levels up ahead, as far as I'm concerned, well, that can wait and during at some point on Wednesday sometime. So, anyways, let's go ahead and get on to, well, first of all, let me just go ahead and buy something on this specific standee shop. I might just well able to go for, yeah, let's go for Mario standee here. So just in case we can able to complete the entire Mario standee collection. And also save players with Peach as well. Likely also just get the last two standees for her. And I think that should be all set. Although I would have liked able to... Actually, let me just think about something. I might as well go for... Yeah, why not? Yellow Toad. Just in case, no matter what though, we can able to also complete his entire standees. So that should be good to go. So I believe it's all down to two different colored Yoshis, which is yellow and light blue Yoshis. So I believe we've only got 4 standees to go until exponentially we can able to get ourselves our next medal. Because yes, this is what I mean about the fact that getting those medals is necessary if you really want to go for a full 100% experience. So anyways, let's go back onto Deep Magma Bog. So just in case we can able to find that specific flower propeller. And before we do anything else, we'll switch over to Toadette. Just in case we can able to go ahead and switch characters for a different variety. So, and I'm afraid to tell you, this will be the last time we're going to be playing specific characters. Which is, as of right now, for Luigi, two colored Toads, and also with Peach and Daisy. And same applies with Toadette as well. So here we go. Solar Roller. Okay, so this is obviously encourages us to able to turn into a spiky rolling ball of any sort once we do touch that particular Wonder Flower. So, exponentially, this particular stage does kind of reminds me of a similar vibes, as in, well, let's say like a combination of one of those missions in Journey forms of Melty Mountain Galaxy, or Melty Monster Galaxy level from Super Mario Galaxy 2, because you're obviously going to be able to roll as a ball, and at the same time, it also kind of reminds me of the forms of one of those nerve-wracking levels, not just by the forms of in New Super Mario Bros. 2, but also with New Super Mario Bros. U and New Super Luigi U, they have to keep on activating the P-switch, not able to keep up with the pace, just in case you don't fall off and die. So, yeah, that's what I was fault about anyway. So, except this time, rather than just activating the forms of the P-switches, so instead, you're able to keep on activating those specific clock blocks, so, or timer blocks, as far as I was going to say about this right from the start. Even though, sadly, I did die accidentally, just because I simply just ran out of time. So, thus, because of the forms of that 10 flower coins, I do need to desperately want to obtain. So, oh well, no big deal. But, yeah, that's as far as I can usually talk about this for this point, guys. Again, I would have liked to explain something else, but honestly, folks, god dang it, I overshoot it. But that's okay, though, because we can just keep on using the, Auto Super Mushroom right here, so just in case I don't able to get too much hits on it. Although, it might be not noticeable in Journey forms at this stage anyway, just because I don't think there's going to be some enemies that we're going to have to worry about. It's just about the fact that we need to avoid, you know, the bottomless pit, and on top of that, do not touch the forms of those lava spherical stuff. And generally speaking, though, that this level is also very tricky as well, so can you just... okay. I have no idea why I keep on messing things up with that specific little bouncy obstacle right there, but regardless of such, we did somehow make it, at the very least. Alright, so just gonna have to keep jumping, and keep activating the switch every time. And I believe... oh jeez, that was close. I almost got it messed up right there. But, I think this is going to be the last bit, so I just have to do with some very, very good, well-timing jumps like I just did right there, and you made your way to the end for the Royal Seed, so, or specifically the Wonder Seed, as far as I was going to say for this point, so, alright, let's go and make our way for that golden flagpole at the top, which we've already did. Oh my goodness, that was quite exhilarating, I'm not gonna lie. Especially because, despite the fact that we die a couple of times in some stages, because again, the entire stages for the majority of the special world is really, really hard. Like, extremely difficult. But regardless, we did somehow manage to accomplish those. But hey, at least it's worth it, I guess. So anyways, let's go ahead and buy some more standees, but this time based off from Yellow Yoshi. And, well, conveniently enough, we've only got 2 more standees to go. So, hopefully we'll get some more flower coins eventually, because for now, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have to end things off this point right here. So join me next time for more of Let's Play of Super Mario Bros. Wonder. It's that we're about to finish up everything in this special world, and this is gonna be the finale. So I'll see you guys until on Wednesday. Later, fellas.